Body and Brain Mysteries, Exploring Memory, Brain Freeze, and Tickling. Our bodies and brains are full of fascinating secrets. Have you ever wondered why the brain forgets something moments after learning it? Or why slurping an icy drink can trigger that painful brain freeze? And here's one to tickle your curiosity. Why can't you tickle yourself? Each of these quirky phenomena has a scientific explanation that unveils the intricate and surprising ways our bodies work. Think of all the information your brain processes daily. Some of it sticks, your best friend's name, the route to work. But other things, like what you had for lunch last Tuesday, seem to vanish. Why does this happen? The key lies in your brain's ability to prioritize. With so much data coming in at all times, the brain acts like a bouncer at an exclusive club. It decides what's worth keeping and discards the rest, often in seconds. Forgetting isn't a flaw, but a remarkable feature of our brain's design. It prevents overload by filtering out what it deems unimportant. When you first learn something new, the information is stored in your short-term memory, which has a tiny capacity. If this information doesn't get reinforced, say, by repetition or emotional significance, it's discarded. This process, known as synaptic pruning, ensures your brain stays efficient, keeping only valuable neural connections while trimming the unneeded ones. Interestingly, forgetting is essential for learning. Imagine holding on to every single piece of information you ever encountered. Your brain would be too cluttered to process new ideas effectively. Through forgetting, the brain frees up cognitive space, making room to adapt, grow, and learn new things faster. Isn't it amazing how forgetfulness actually helps us? We've all been there. You're enjoying an ice-cold slushie or a scoop of gelato, and suddenly, bam! A stabbing headache hits you out of nowhere. That's the dreaded brain freeze. What causes this strange, fleeting pain? Scientifically, brain freeze is known as sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? It happens when something very cold comes into contact with the roof of your mouth, or palate. This area contains nerve clusters that are highly sensitive to temperature changes. When the nerves sense that sudden chill, they send an emergency signal to your brain, alerting it to potential danger. But here's the twist. Your brain misinterprets the signal. The pain you feel isn't actually in your brain, but in your head's blood vessels. The nerves in your palate cause blood vessels in your forehead to rapidly constrict and then dilate. This rapid movement creates the awful, stabbing sensation of brain freeze. It's your body's way of saying, "Slow down and stop shocking me with all this icy cold." Here's a fun fact. Researchers believe that brain freeze may be a protective mechanism to preserve the brain's delicate temperature balance. Since the brain is highly temperature sensitive and uses up a huge amount of your body's energy, it doesn't want to risk prolonged exposure to extreme cold. So how do you stop brain freeze? The answer is surprisingly simple. Press your tongue or thumb against the roof of your mouth. It warms up those sensitive nerves, calming the system and bringing relief. Next time you devour something frosty, remember to pace yourself. You might just avoid the freeze. Tickling often brings laughter, but let's be honest, it's also weirdly fascinating. We've all experienced how tickles make us squirm and giggle when someone else touches us in just the right, or wrong, way. But try as you might, you just can't tickle yourself. Why is that? It all comes down to your brain's predictive superpowers. Your cerebellum, located at the back of your brain, controls motor functions and movements. It has a knack for predicting and canceling sensory feedback from your own actions. When you touch your own body, your cerebellum sends a prediction signal that warns the brain, essentially saying, "Hey, this is me. It's not going to surprise us." As a result, the sensory response to your self-generated movements is muted or filtered out entirely. Surprise is a key ingredient for ticklishness, and without it, there's no giggling reflex. Interestingly, tickling probably evolved for two reasons. The first is social bonding. Playful tickling strengthens relationships, especially between family members and friends. The second is defense. Ticklish spots, like the underarms, neck, or ribs, are also some of our body's most vulnerable areas. If there's one thing we've learned from these mysteries, it's that your body and brain share an astonishing partnership. Whether it's memory lapses, brain freeze, or tickling, every strange sensation or experience has a reason rooted in your brain's intricate design. but these aren't just isolated quirks. Together, they highlight the human body's tireless work behind the scenes to adapt, protect, and thrive. Memory lapses aren't failures of intelligence, but proof of your brain's efficiency. Brain freeze isn't just a headache, it's your body protecting you from extremes. And tickling, while seemingly lighthearted, reveals your brain's ability to distinguish self-generated sensations from external surprises. Understanding these phenomena doesn't just entertain, it's practical. For memory, repetition and emotional connection can help strengthen retention. Using techniques like analogies or storytelling makes new ideas stick better in long-term memory. For brain freeze, now that you know the science, you can beat the pain by warming your palate with your tongue or simply slowing down your consumption of icy treats. For tickling, while you still can't tickle yourself, you can appreciate how this quirk ties to our social bonds and evolutionary survival. Before we wrap up, here are a few jaw-dropping facts about your brain. Your brain runs on about 20% of your body's energy, despite weighing only about 3 pounds. Forgetting isn't always passive. Deliberate forgetting, like letting go of bad habits or traumatic memories, engages specific brain functions. 3. Laughter from tickling is unique because it's a reflex, not a result of something genuinely funny. Fascinating, right? The human body and brain are marvels of biology, filled with quirks that are as fun as they are functional. By exploring these mysteries, we unlock a deeper appreciation for how our bodies adapt, protect, and connect us to others. The more we learn about these everyday oddities, the less ordinary they seem. Curious about other strange phenomena, like why we get hiccups or what makes yawns contagious? Let us know in the comments. Have a question about something you've always found puzzling? Science thrives on curiosity, and your next question might just inspire our next deep dive. Remember, the human body may be ordinary at first glance, but with a curious mind, it reveals an extraordinary world. Keep wondering, keep exploring, and let your curiosity lead the way.